Have you ever considered live screen printing?
Have you ever run out of ink and decided to use berries or another medium instead?
Like food?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. Are you still trying to figure out your screen printing journey?
For sure. And are you still looking for your screen printing bestie? If so, then this is the podcast for you. Welcome to Last Call for Plastisol.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hi guys, welcome to Last Call for Plastisol. I'm Christy Rossi.
And I'm Jeremy Ray, and we are excited about this episode I
think this was our best episode.
This is our most favorite episode ever.
I went home really jazzed about this episode.
Yeah, so, there's going to be things from this episode that we're going to put into place with our podcast and our businesses, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So it was with Ndelo at MacFly, Fresh Screen
Print Co. There's a lot. He's got a lot of titles in there.
Yeah,
but it's fun.
But there's all sorts of like acronyms and like fun things with the name. You
He's
guys,
going to break it all down. You guys got to get ready for it.
He might be our new print bestie.
Yes. Yeah. You know what? He should be known in the industry more than he's known.
Yeah. For sure.
So we'll talk about that too during the episode. But first, we're going to get to sponsors. And our first sponsor for today is Christy.
Blue Ridge Screen Products. Are you looking to up your print game? Are you wondering if there's a better process to improve your overall print? Are there better products that can help you produce more in a shorter amount of time? Talk to one of the textile print advisors at Blue Ridge Screen Products and see if they can help you improve your game. Or just go to their website, www.blueridgescreenproducts.com, and shop for some of the best products in the industry. Use Last Call 10 at checkout to receive 10% your first order. Start partnering with your textile print advisor today.
There's a lot of things being said right there, isn't there?
Yeah, but the most important, guys, is Last Call 10 for 10% off.
Yes.
You can use it on PMI tape. You can use it on Monarch Color ink. You can use it on anything you want.
You can buy a new press.
I don't know if you get 10% off.
Oh, sorry.
Can you?
You
I don't know. Talk to Aaron about that.
I think it's online only. He would be like,
Jeremy.
What?
Aaron's crapping in his pants right now.
No, don't. Yeah. I think it has to do with being on the website.
I did use it on a mixing system.
Here's the thing, you guys. This is pretty crazy. If you're like me, I go and buy the Amazon bread racks and then I convert it into a screen rack. Have you ever done that?
No.
Okay, we'll talk.
I don't have time
that's for another episode. So I actually buy the stuff because I'm cheap, and then I went and priced out actual screen printing racks for screens, and I was like, oh my god, they're really expensive, Yeah. And then I called Aaron, and Aaron's are like half price, and they're just as good. And that's not to say they're poor quality or anything like that. It's just like I'm gonna get my screen racks from him.
You should.
Yeah. Instead of just wasting my time building out.
Sell some t-shirts, Jeremy.
Sell some t-shirts. I'm going to sell some t-shirts. I'm going to focus on my business. I think that's what I'm going to do. And while I'm focusing on it, I'm going to talk about some Monarch Color because they're my favorite ink in the world. I'm repping their shirt today.
This shirt was printed with Monarch Color as well.
It was the Neon series.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
Nice and summery.
It is nice and summery. It's very nice. We wore that at GPX.
Yes.
All right, Monarch Color Corporation manufactures some of the highest quality and most innovative Plastisol inks currently on the market, and that's the truth. Monarch offers a full line of ready-for-use inks, finished ink blending systems, and pigment dispersion blending systems. I feel like that's where they, like the Home Depot, where they just bring it around and, it's got the little...
I would love one of those machines for the shop.
Yeah, that Monarch has them. All of which are available in our standard and low temp inks. We talked about this before. They're not offering a new ink every year. It's standard and low temp, and it's the same.
Well, and you don't need a new ink when it's the best already.
It's the best already. So if you haven't tried them out, head on over to monarchcolor.com and take a look at all their product offerings and check out our distributor page to find out the distributor near you. We already talked about the distributor near us. That's Blue Ridge. So that's cool.
And our other sponsor is PMI Tape.
Yep.
And they sponsor our What's on Press Wednesday, where you guys have seen my face all over Instagram. All I say is post what's on your press during the week and tag us and tag PMI Tape for your chance to win.
Beer. A drink. Because there's people that don't drink beer. There's people that don't. And I respect it. Much respect,
you
y'all.
can go get a cheeseburger with that.
You can go.
$10.
It's $10. So, yes. And just post. You know what? You don't even have to do it on a Wednesday.
And can I say something else?
What's that?
It's, I know it's not that much money, but I love free stuff, one.
Right.
But two, also, PMI Tape is going to repost your post. So you're going to get exposure in the industry. We're going to repost it. And then also Blue Ridge and Monarch Color will probably repost it.
You guys are getting free marketing and you're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So get on it.
Do it.
Do it.
So, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I love
We
this
enjoyed it.
episode.
Yes.
Probably a little too much.
Yes. And listen, you guys are going to walk away and go, man, I want to meet that dude.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to try to get that opportunity for you to do that. So I'm excited.
Yes. On to the episode.
On to the episode. Today we have on the show, I said I wasn't going to do Eric.
It's all good.
Ndelo
Yes.
from MacFly
Printing Company. Yes.
Printing Company.
Yes.
Isn't
All right.
that just the coolest screen printing shop name you've ever heard?
Yeah, and it's okay that I messed that up because
Yeah.
it's real.
It's real.
It's real life.
Yesterday I said we were on
IRL.
episode 3, and it's probably like episode 100.
Yeah. So
Beautiful mistakes.
So yeah, it's first of all, thank you for coming down to Rock Hill.
My pleasure. Yes.
You're in Charlotte.
It was a
Yes.
journey.
It was a
It was a
journey.
journey.
Yes, traffic was crazy coming down here today.
Yeah.
Normally it's a 30-minute drive, I think, but today was an hour and 1 minute.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. No, that's terrible. And you're coming from the North Davison area, NODA?
Yeah, well, Camp North.
Camp
area.
North End.
Yes.
Okay.
North End. It's
Yes.
way cooler than Davidson.
Is
Way
it?
cooler, yes.
Okay.
We are the
hip.
future. Yes.
Okay.
Noda's old school.
And what
We
are
love
you
Noda.
drinking today?
Right now, I am on our homies, Sycamore.
Yeah.
Yes, a Sycamore Mountain Candy.
Mountain Candy.
Yes, IPA. Yes, shout out to Sycamore.
Jeremy, what are you on?
Hazy Little Thing by Sierra Nevada, which is now in Nashville.
Yes, I love going there. They have like this great outdoor
You
area.
love going there, but you don't love the beer.
No, I usually drink wine when I'm there, if
Okay,
I'm completely
okay.
honest. Beer gives me a stomach ache sometimes.
Okay, cool.
So Jeremy went and got some mega Trulies.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. The
never-
gas stations suck around here for simple beers, and so I got like the 40-ounce Truly for Christy.
I feel like I'm in Cancun. It's margarita style classic lime.
Well,
Classic.
Mr. Ndelo, thank you for joining us. And listen, man, there's so many things I want to ask you because we've been through your website, we've kind of been on your socials, and we've also, just like saw you online.
He's been stalking you.
We've been talking with you. So my wife actually has who would be a great podcast guest, and this guy at Camp North End, and
Wow.
and pointed you out, and I'm like, freaking Christy just set him up, so we're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, the way I heard about you is my running partner, Patrick. He followed you first, and he was like, Christy, you got to check out this guy.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
he's
you're
doing the thing.
So the name is
you're
out there.
Yeah.
the name is out there. So give us the MacFly kind of. Well, let's just start, man. Let's tell us about yourself, man. Give us what
Just you,
what do you
before
want to
MacFly.
say? What do you want to say about yourself?
Well, I was born in Charlotte.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So in
You're
Charlotte,
native.
there you go. In Charlotte, that's like a thing now.
Okay.
To meet somebody who's from Charlotte, because
It is.
imports.
I'm
are
not
amazing.
from
I'm not either.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And most of the people are in Charlotte are not from Charlotte. So I am a Charlotte native, but via the Congo.
Okay.
So my family is Congolese.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I'm from Congolese roots. First language was Lingala. Had to learn English later. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
How
Even
old
though I
were
was
you
born-
when you learned English?
About 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then when I started school, I used to get into fights with people because I used to say, "That's not how you say that."
Really?
Right, because you use proper English. Probably you learn proper English, right?
Right. But then also, I was using Lingala words
Okay.
okay.
as opposed to the English words.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
No,
said,
that's-
Are you
Yeah.
still a fighter?
I'm still a fighter. So that's where the gorilla comes out in a lot of my work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
that.
that.
We got to
Congo
get
gorilla.
into that
Yes,
because I've seen
exactly.
some social media posts for sure. So, Congo.
Yes.
So is it first generation, second generation?
First generation,
Okay.
to say, yes. So my parents, they got married back home.
Okay.
But then also did a traditional wedding here, you know what I'm saying, in the States. And then my sister and I were born in the 70s. Yes.
Yeah, me too.
The
Me too. So wow, we're
Y'all
kind
are
of the
old.
same age.
Y'all
Yeah.
are old.
She was born in the 80s.
These
Yeah.
80s babies. Man, what do you
I've got employees that were born in the 2000s, and
That's
it makes me feel so
same here.
freaking old.
Seriously, but I'm still cool though.
I'm
Okay,
cool
so
too.
That
Yes.
kind of
I
stops
We
me.
all are
grow
cool.
up.
Next question is, I read you went to NC State, right?
Yes, I went to NC
I
State.
actually started at NC State too, but
Little
I guess
Wolfpack.
we did not go at the same time.
I look young, but yeah,
Which
exactly.
dorm did you
I
stay in?
actually came up in Beckton. my
Beckton,
freshman year.
yes.
I was
I
on
was
East
in
Campus.
Sullivan.
Oh, so there you
Yeah.
go. Sullivan. So that was West Campus, wasn't it?
I think so.
Barbara
yeah.
Gall. Yes, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Yeah,
Barbara Gall and all
exactly.
that. Yes, exactly. Yes, I remember.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
NC
Welcome to
State.
the show.
Yeah, NC
Leave
State.
it.
No,
Go
listen. I used to coach football, so I have a player who's in his sophomore year there right now playing for NC State, Julian
that
Gray.
is so
You coached a good
cool.
one.
Yeah, so I went and saw him in the bowl game in Charlotte last year.
Oh, word. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. I know that was.
Or I guess it was this year.
It's a really good football team too.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
NC State's pretty
Good for
good.
him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went to NC State for
Yes.
what?
For electrical engineering.
Well, we have kind of went the other way.
What happened?
Exactly. Right. Little, like seriously. So I started off as electrical engineering, but then, unfortunately, I had a passing away in my family. My pops passed away.
Sorry.
Okay.
Right. Going into my junior year. So I took some time off, and then after that, I said, you know what? I felt like I started off as an artist. Right?
Okay.
And I felt like my family wanted me to be a engineer because being an artist wasn't
Yeah.
going to pay well, at that point in time in life. Now, being an artist now is amazing, right? But I went into engineering, and then when my pops passed away, I felt like I did it for the family.
Yeah.
So from there, I decided to take some time off from engineering and get into digital media, and that's how I really resurged back into the arts.
I love that.
Right, Flash media, web design, Photoshop, Illustrator,
Yeah.
and all that kind of good stuff.
Flash.
Yes, Flash.
Wow.
Right, exactly. Right.
Whoa.
You see, I'm dating myself, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I'm dating myself.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And one thing I thought was cool when I was researching you, I'm like, oh, he has an engineering background. Jeremy does too.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you guys can geek out over that.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, here's the important thing: is we're no longer doing that
No
anymore.
longer, and happy for it.
Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
worthless
That's a really
degree.
good point.
And what I tell people is that the good thing about my degree, I feel, is it allowed me to exercise the other side of my brain.
Yeah.
Yes.
My technical brain, and now I have the artist brain. So both sides of my brains
That's
are
a
being
really
activated
important
all the time.
point.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So what side is that?
I think it's the.
I don't know.
That's why you notice
That's a
I didn't say
t-shirt
left or right.
design.
You notice I didn't say left
That's
or
a
right.
T-shirt design. Left side activated.
Yes, exactly. I think it's left side.
I don't. But we'll have to research what that
we'll
means.
I don't know.
So electrical engineering, expressing the art side of things, and you how did you end up screen printing from that?
So I started a brand
Okay.
while I was in school.
Okay.
Representing the Congo, and that's where that whole gorilla motif
Yep.
comes
Okay.
from.
Yep.
And after I graduated, I worked. I started a brand. Well, I started running the brand, right? But then I
Right.
was like, you know what? Let me utilize my degree.
Did you
Okay.
print your own shirts at that point? Or
I was outsourcing
Okay.
at that point.
Okay.
Outsourcing. I started off heat pressing. So at that point, I was still outsourcing to my homeboy, Adam Peel. Shout out to AH Studios, AH Peel Studios in Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right.
Ooh, Raleigh.
And yes. That's
Good
where it all
job,
started.
Adam.
Yes. Thank you, Adam. And I had the opportunity, because I had my clothing line around the Congo, I was using my clothing line as a tool to spread awareness about what's going on.
Yep.
So a lot of conversations were being started. So I got invited to UNC Chapel Hill to actually present and talk to the students there. about me being a Congolese and me expressing my art and my entrepreneurship through my clothing line, right? But I got a chance to meet a brother named Ndelo, and he had an organization in the Congo, and they invited me to teach a screen printing class in the Congo.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, I had never screen printed before.
Oh. And you never been to the Congo.
I had never been to the Congo either, right? None of them,
two
right?
things going for you.
Two things going for me, right?
This just got
Right.
interesting.
Very interesting, right?
Yeah.
So I accepted the offer 100%. I was going to teach the business of the fashion industry, which I knew already, right? But I had never screen printed. So I got Adam Peel to teach me how to screen print 24 hours before I got on my flight to go to the Congo.
love that.
Yes.
Well, like, they're not going to know that you're not doing it right.
Right. Nobody's
Right.
gonna know.
Like, nobody's going to go, why are you pushing when you should be
pulling, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Your angle is off.
Yeah, right, exactly. Nobody's going to be doing that. You could have told them that you don't even use a squeegee. Just use your hand.
Use your hand like
Use your
this.
And whatever you have available.
I have seen that on Instagram. Some people do that.
Yeah.
But the beautiful part about that was I knew I was going to the Congo.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure, I brought some water-based ink, some Plastisol ink, screens, and a press, a mobile press, and all that kind of stuff. But you want to teach people how to fish.
Right.
You don't want to just, once these materials run out, they're finite, right? You don't want them to now be like, oh my gosh, I have no more materials, and you left me here again like everybody else does.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
This is a thing that happens in Africa.
typical missionaries.
And there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Typical.
Right?
Yeah.
There you go. So Adam Peel went a step further and taught me how to make my own inks.
Wow.
Out of berries and fruits, and
Oh my
how
gosh.
to build screens from wood that we found in the actual
He
his
learned that in
backyard.
Raleigh?
Learned that in Raleigh.
Wow.
Learned that in Raleigh.
I'm
Wow.
from Raleigh, so
In
That's
Raleigh.
intense.
I did not learn that in Raleigh.
That is hilarious.
This just got really interesting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I've seen, so I'm going to make, I'm not trying to, but listen, there's a guy that does, like, every day is a different International Food Day.
Yes.
And he's printing, like, today is cheeseburgers or whatever. He's literally taking ketchup and mustard and a cheeseburger, and he's wiping it on the screen and printing a
I don't
shirt
like
with
that.
action.
I don't like
Chili, jelly donuts. I mean, he prints
Are you
every day.
serious?
It's a piece of food. Yeah. So he's using food, and half the time, like, anything that's like liquid based looks great, you know.
interesting.
But he's just printing with food.
I love
So
it.
the
I love
berries
it.
thing is not
Yes.
too far fetched.
Not too far fetched, right? Exactly, and it works.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
It works.
God.
Yes.
I like the berries. I don't like the ketchup and mustard in my screens.
Well, I'm sure he just does it for fun.
Okay.
It's a social media thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah. All right. So you went to the Congo. What happened?
So I taught a 3-week course.
Oh, you were there that long?
Yeah, I was there for
Wow.
that. I was there for about a month. Taught a course for 3 weeks, but at the end of the course, we did a fashion show. Right.
Okay.
So I brought pieces from my line, my collection, but we also showcased the pieces that the students in my class made.
Wow.
During the actual time there. And the interesting thing was we didn't have emotion, right? So they actually did a block out type of situation, inverse painted on the actual screen, pretty much.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? So they made some amazing pieces. There were some amazing artists down there who actually made that happen. And we put those pieces on the runway. And it's amazing right now, full circle, that one of my students, David, he was my right-hand man during the fashion show piece, right? And after that, he started doing fashion shows in the Congo. And now he's on his 9th one, and it's the biggest one in Goma.
Stop.
And he invited me to be in his fashion show.
Oh, I love it.
So I will be going to the Congo June 19th to be in the fashion show June
That
23rd.
is, that is
how
amazing.
Full circle.
Full circle, yeah.
Full circle.
See.
Full circle. And that's when I really noticed that I love teaching the art of screen printing.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I came back and everything changed.
Okay, so before you had your shop in Camp North End, which I've walked by before, but you were closed because it was nighttime. And it looked really cool.
Thank you.
From the window.
Yes.
Like I was peering in.
Everybody does it.
Not creepy at all.
The alarm was going off. There was the
like,
doorbell was going.
outta
Who's this
here.
lady? This crazy white woman looking at my window.
Alarm.
Yeah. Drunk on Prosecco.
Anyways.
But before you were there, did you have a shop anywhere else?
So before that, after Congo, it was my mom's garage.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
My mom's garage about 2 years, and then my sister and I collaborated on a space, a warehouse type of space off of Otondo Avenue in Charlotte, about a mile or two from Camp North End, which is amazing. And we split it between her dance studio and my screen printing shop.
Smart.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Multi-use. Yep.
Multi-use,
And
yes.
so were you water-based at that point? Or
I started water-based. Yeah, so when I bought my first kit from Rionette,
Okay.
I bought the Raleigh
You got
Hopkins Jr.
The Galaxies and
That
all
was
that.
your
Exactly.
that
The
was your
Galaxies,
first press.
the whole, yes, that was my
Yep.
first press. Still have that press to this day.
Okay.
And yes, I started out water-based, and as I started networking in the community, they told me about Plastisol.
Yeah.
Do you still have your first shirt you ever printed?
You know what? I don't.
I do.
You do.
I do. It's
That is smart.
It's
That would have been
Yeah,
trash.
it was really smart.
It's
yeah.
framed and it's trash. It's all bled out and everything. But I
my
like that
gosh.
I have it.
Yeah, no, that would be a great idea.
That would have been monumental. Yes.
Yeah, because back then you were like, this is total, like, we suck. There's no way we're ever going to make it.
Back then, I thought it was the most amazing thing ever.
Yeah, well, I was, I guess, engineers a little bit more critical. Like, this is garbage. I
No.
need to go take a class because this sucks.
I was so excited.
No, man, I wish I would. I have a video of me doing a printing in my garage on the press that I built, because I built
Wow.
my own press.
Nice.
Because that's what engineers do. Right?
Exactly, of course.
And like, I have this vision, and I should just do it. But like, the vision is so, like, if you listen, it in the background there's Red Hot Chili Peppers playing, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, wouldn't it be so cool to put together that video with like just me starting like that, and then just go full volume into
You
it.
could like open your Hey Y'all door and
and just have this whole shop buzzing, you know.
That would be great.
Wouldn't that be insane?
That would be insane.
I like that idea.
Yeah, but
I do love it.
Don't have time.
Tell me about it.
Listen,
AI can do it for you.
oh my gosh, she just rocked.
Change the world.
Ndelo, she just rocked my world with this AI. What was it called?
It's Chat GT.
Yes.
I
Chat-
just showed him
oh
how
my
to use
God,
it, like
she's
write a
like-
social media post.
I'm
with it
50
and
years
stuff,
old,
and he's like,
Ndelo.
"What
I'm
is
50
this?"
years old, man, and she's, you know, like, I just got into Venmo. Like, somebody was like, "Do you Venmo?" I'm like, "I'm 50. I don't Venmo. What are you talking about,
What do you
Venmo?"
mean?
You know.
I'm like,
so
Jeremy, it
so
just
I'm
doesn't
so-
take that long. Just type it in here.
I'm so.
and
She's
I'll
like,
do it
"Why
for
didn't you write that article yet?" I'm like, "Because I don't have time."
I did it.
Time.
She
I
did
in
it
30
literally in
seconds.
30 seconds, and I'm like, whoa, okay,
Copy, paste.
yeah, wow, okay, well,
If you can't tell
Distraction.
yet, we like to go on tangents.
I see. I
Yeah,
love it.
sorry
I love
about
it.
that.
That makes the time flow easier.
so we got
Get
into
my jitters out.
Yeah, we got into the whole so screen printing obviously was just an extension of that clothing line.
Correct.
Yes.
And that clothing line was based around the Congo.
Yes.
And so, do you still have that? Do you still do
Yes.
that? Do you still just is that kind of carried you into where you're at now? or-
100%. Yes.
Okay.
So DRC, which is the name of the brand.
What's that stand for?
So DRC, I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Perfect.
DRC, right?
Yep, makes sense.
But we represent all divine, righteous children everywhere.
Elaborate.
Right? And being that I'm from Charlotte, I'm daily repping Charlotte, right? DRC. So I've had to evolve it
Listen
over
to that,
time,
man.
you know, because
We had talked about that in one podcast. Actually, I was on the Print Girl Mafia one, and we were talking about how like I've changed my niche over time, and that's kind of what you're
Yeah,
doing.
but
like,
no,
with this-
you took it
Yes.
like next level,
Yeah.
like Congo to Charlotte,
Yeah.
There you go.
Daily.
Right, daily.
dude. So, all right, so you're repping Charlotte and you're repping the Congo at the same time, and just magically Camp North End opens.
So,
Magically?
I know, right?
Magically.
I wish it was magic, right?
Right? No, so there's something to happen.
So in between that time,
Yeah.
something very key happened, right?
Okay.
So we had our space off of Otondo Avenue, busting our asses in that space, growing the name, right? And 2 buildings over in the same business park, my partner at the time, he knew somebody who ran a shop who was trying to sell it.
Oh wow.
So he had been in the business for how long, but he had got down to basically 1 employee himself, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, I'm done, right? I want to move on, do something else in my life. So he sold us his shop.
Okay.
All his equipment pretty much, right?
Awesome.
But there was one piece of equipment in that shop. It was a single station press, 4-color. Right?
Okay.
but it was on a rack with wheels.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I was like, that should be out here in the streets.
Exactly.
We should have this thing in the streets, but it had like the regular shop wheels on it. So we put
it's
some
like
nice,
an all-in-one thing.
right? Exactly. So we put the rugged wheels on it, right?
Yeah.
And rolled it out to an event called Boom the Boom Arts Festival in 2017.
Okay.
And we were set up in Plaza Midwood, off of Central Avenue, right in front of the library, actually, right? And that was my first live screen printing event, and it just changed everything from there.
Yeah.
But that piece of equipment that he sold me was the thing that gave
was the
me
game changer.
the game changer that allowed me to do what I thought was something
was
that
the
would
spark.
separate us, right,
Yeah,
from
there's
all the
always a
other.
spark.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and you know, that's the important thing of starting off and trying to separate yourself from everybody else is to try to come up with this niche, right?
There you go.
That niche. And so that live screen printing was your niche to kind of get you driving,
100%.
right?
So
so were you focused on just staying like, hey, this is me. I'm outward. I'm just going to stay out here and do this for the people out here and just kind of go with it? Or were you like, no, I got to take this bigger. I need to get me a home and go that way. You know what I mean?
So when
I'm just curious the journey,
No, that's interesting. I love that question.
Yeah.
Because when we got that piece, the main thing that one piece did was allow me to bring out the artist in myself, right? It allowed me to connect with people. I'm a people person, right? I like connecting, and it also allowed me to teach the art of screen printing. Like going to Congo and teaching that in Congo was what pushed me to leave my job. Because I said I found what I wanted to do with my life now. This is my calling. My mom had always been telling me, you need to be teaching something. Teach engineering, teach web design, teach graphic, whatever, teach something, right? You need to be teaching, right? You need to be using your voice. You need to be in front of people. And this just all connected, And
I love that.
Yeah, your mom, she knows what
she always has.
She knows what's up.
It was only me who wasn't listening. It
That's
took me
right.
10 years to get to that point.
Give her a shout out.
Yeah, shout out, moms. I love you so much. Thank you. Philomene Ndelo. Yes.
So I have a question, kind of like a little tangent. We have all these people that come to us daily. I'm sure you do too. That are. I'm starting a clothing line.
Here, you might need that.
I was looking for it.
If you had the clothing line situation to do over again, given today's technology, would you screen print them or would you do transfers?
Or direct to garment.
Or direct to garment.
I would definitely. I would use. Well, I'll say this. I would do a
Starting a brand.
starting a brand.
Starting brand, yeah.
I would do a pre-sale.
Yes.
Right.
Pre-sale off the gate. I don't own a piece of equipment. I don't own anything. Give me a pre-sale. How many of these can I sell? I'm going to already have somebody like you in the chamber, somebody like you in the chamber already to make my shirts happen.
Right.
Because being the artist and the engineer, I wanted to kind of do it all.
Right.
Didn't we all?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And trying to do it all is not the way to go.
No, and that's your Achilles heel. That's what ends up, getting you burnt out in the end.
Yes.
Burned out.
Yep. And but it's also an opportunity to hire people. It's an opportunity to grow your business. It's an opportunity to get
Learn
down.
what you like.
Yes.
Learn what you
That's
like.
how
Different
I
paths.
learned. Yeah, we had a fitness brand.
Yeah.
We learned what we liked. We learned what we didn't. We don't print fitness shirts anymore.
So there you go.
And this is important because that brings up like this whole conversation that we had before we actually started filming about like the fact that we're doing what we love, but we kind of stink at the business side of things because, oh my gosh, you actually have to run a business?
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
What is that?
I'm just having fun.
I'm just having fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's a tough one, but you've learned.
I have. And I've had the opportunity just recently to be a part of a business program in Charlotte called the Amped Up program.
Yeah, what is that all about? I saw the video about that.
Yeah, pretty cool, right? I love that video. The video's dope.
It's great.
Yeah.
Shout out
That's
to City of Charlotte for making that video happen. It's a program that allows you to do a deep dive into your business. It's like 7 months, right? And from your finances all the way down to your onboarding process, right? And marketing, it talks about all these different things. And being that I was the printer, the creative in the business, I didn't know what my numbers were.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's very common.
Yeah, it's very common.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But in the class, they say that's the faux pas, right?
Yeah.
Number one.
I do because I have a finance degree. So
Gotcha.
like that's where my focus has always been. But I'm not good at art. So
So your lane was chosen, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
but I can sell.
Right. Exactly. So there you go. You know.
So what is the goal of the program? Is it geared towards certain like business people? Is it geared towards
It's
like
different.
startups?
It's
or is
different entrepreneurs, startups that are at a certain level above $250K in their business, right?
Okay, above.
Who want
Okay.
to get to the $1 million mark.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Right.
All right.
So they give you the tools, the resources, and the different guest panel people who come in that you can connect with, and the resources and the network is just vast.
Right.
Like I've benefited so much from the network already so far, right? But it really made me look at my business and figure out who I was and what I wasn't doing and why I wasn't doing it and how it was hurting me.
Right.
That's a really important part
No,
that I don't think a
that's-
lot of us analyze is why aren't we doing what we know we should be doing?
Right.
And there's always like a core something. Like Jeremy and I were talking before the podcast about qualifying our customers and why a lot of us don't ask budget.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
why isn't that part of the initial conversation with a client? Like, what are we afraid of? If we're not afraid of, like, why aren't we asking it when we know that's a core component to someone's purchasing decision?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like this just happened. Like you have a customer that comes to you and says, "Hey, I want 4,500 T-shirts or whatever T-shirts they want," and you're like, "Okay." You know, and maybe it's what quality that are they, and then you're like, "Oh, well, I want the best." Right. And then, you know, we start to go down this rabbit hole of like, okay, great. This is going to be a great sell for me. Right. But no, they really needed the cheapest shirts. Right. Or whatever else. Right.
Yeah,
Or-
that's what happened to me with one client I was trying to get.
And for my case, it was like, and I kind of combined the both of ours, but like my case was like the budget was so low that like there was no way they were going to get 4,500 shirts. Right. And so you kind of just got to go like, man, we could have eliminated 3 quotes and that conversation if we would have just got the details up front.
Yes.
Like qualifying your customer. So like it's
Qualifying.
just basic information, but I just want to make a cool T-shirt.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right. So those are the things that you learn.
Yes,
and
as you go.
what you're saying. You know, like,
Yes, 100%.
So what's one key thing that you learned about yourself in this process? Like one thing you needed to work on or you learned from the experience or anything like that?
One thing I really learned that even though I love screen printing, I am a much better and more effective salesperson or
Yep.
the face of the business.
Yeah. I get that.
I can affect and bring more abundance to the business by doing that versus being on the press.
Yes.
But I love being on the press.
Oh, I don't like
Like
being on
I
the
loved it. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
You couldn't pull me from it. Night, day, 18 hours. Everybody wanted to go to sleep, but I'm up.
You love the art of it.
I
Like
love the
you love
art
the
of it.
hands-on,
There you go.
the results.
Do you want to work in my shop?
Yeah. She needs a printer, dude.
But see, the funny
She needs a printer.
thing is that I felt like I really went a whole like 5 to 7 years wanting to be on the press because before that I was just an engineer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in my soul, I was an artist.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be an artist, but I couldn't be an artist. So now I have a time to actually get hands on with inks all over the place.
yeah.
I'm running with this, but then
And
that
now
was
you've created this thing that
Yes.
is bigger than you being on the press.
there. You go.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's an interesting evolution, and I think a lot of business owners probably get there too. And then how do we get our core needs filled when we're building something bigger than we initially thought it would be, but also push the business forward and make it profitable? And it's weird. It's a balancing act.
It is. Yeah.
It really, really is, and it's just tough, man. It's tough because when you start bringing other people on, like that's their lives, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they feed their families off of
Yeah.
this too as well, and then it's like, okay, well, now I got 5 employees, but then I gotta maintain
Yeah.
a level of business to keep these 5 employees, and it's like now I'm thinking about them and not even thinking about myself
Yeah.
now because
Yeah.
I have to make sure that they're good, and if they don't do what they gotta do, I
Preach.
definitely can't do what I gotta
Yeah.
do.
Preach, right? Like that's it. That's it.
Yeah, we've been talking
Like-
about that all week.
Like, what have I done? I sat out in the back. I've sat out in the back, and I was like, I called my buddy who was an entrepreneur, and I'm like, I got a dumpster. I was happy that I had a dumpster, right?
Right.
And then I had to figure out how to pay $19,000 for T-shirts, and I'm like, why the hell did I buy a dumpster? Like, well, I can't even make, like, so like you just go, oh my God, what have I done? And then now this single mom's like depending on me.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like the stress. Like,
stress.
and I better figure out what I'm doing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I better figure out what I've done.
100%.
Right. So that whole,
It gets hardcore fast.
yeah, it gets way hardcore fast. Ndelo, I was looking through your website, and I kind of, all right, so there's a couple things I want to touch on. I think the first one is the name, MacFly.
Oh, important
Yes.
question.
Important
Yes.
question. So
Yes.
what is it?
So
Why
MacFly? We started MacFly back in 2003, and it was just a design company.
Okay.
Right? DRC, the clothing brand, was the top dog and leading everything forward at the time. So we did that to make flyers and web design and different things for other people. And at that time, our lead designer was my brother at that time, Guilherme de Oliveira. He was from Brazil. I was from the Congo, so we had that deep connection because of the transatlantic slave trade, a lot of boom, 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 right? So we were connected heavy, and so we came up with the name MacFly because MacFly Fresh, because they were all three names that were used like in the 70s, right? In the 80s.
Yeah,
It's like,
wow.
and
Yeah, you're right.
What meant fresh? Like the Mac was the man, right?
Yeah.
He was always fly, right?
Yeah.
And he stayed fresh, right? Of course.
I
Yeah.
love it.
But then we were sneakerheads at the time, right?
Okay.
So Back to the Future with Marty McFly.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
it was
I
going
was
to
gonna
be
Exactly.
from.
I
So
thought
it's a
that
little
was-
bit deeper than that, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but Marty
Yeah.
McFly and those sneakers that he had in,
Right.
in that joint that Kanye made famous, right?
Yeah. Are you still a sneakerhead?
100%?
Okay.
I got my Moabs on right now.
All right.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. All right,
90s
here we go.
Moabs, right? And at that time,
I'm embarrassed to say.
It's all good.
I'm embarrassed to
But
say what I got on.
I found
at-
some fly joints. What are the Hokas? What are those?
There's a
Yeah,
Hokas,
Hokas.
but listen,
Okay.
man,
They're very
like
comfortable.
the Jordan 4s.
Oh,
Come on, like,
all right, come on.
all right. Anyways,
I saw some fly colorways. I'm going to get of those right there.
Yeah.
Yes, on Kith. Yes, exactly. But yeah, we were MacFly Fresh Concepts of Ascension, right? So we wanted to create designs that took you to the sky, right?
Yeah.
Basically, right? And our logo was a black, basically Marty McFly with locks.
Okay.
On this
cool.
hoverboard.
Okay.
And then MacFly was on the bottom of the hoverboard, right? So
Yeah.
That was the original logo. But our brother Guy ended up passing away in 2006.
okay.
Right before our first fashion show, right? So we decided to keep that name heavy,
Right.
no matter what we would do, you know what I'm saying, in life.
Like
And
as tribute.
as tribute
Yep.
to him, right? Because he
Like
was the
that.
freshest guy. So, we would call him Fresh to Death, and
Okay.
in death, he's still fresh, right? So that's our homie Guy. Shout out Guy. Big ups, But that's why the name is so important to me. So
Okay.
no matter what I did, no matter where DRC was
No.
going to grow, I knew I had to make sure MacFly was in the building, right? So, and his sisters and everybody, they still in contact with them. Shout out Fernanda, what's up? So that's where MacFly came from, and now I call myself Ndelo MacFly. So if you see my emails,
Yeah.
you'll see Ndelo MacFly.
No, that's good.
Right? It's another personification of who I am in this MacFly world that I live in. Yes, this fresh world that I live in.
Okay.
I love it.
So your shop now, what do you guys like? What do you specialize in? What do you do on a daily basis? Like
So
if you're like a like time shot of today, what
time
would you
shot of today.
Yeah.
So we're still screen printers, traditional screen printers, right? So we did some tote bags for Tabor today, but at the same time, we specialize in the education of and the engagement in the art of screen printing.
Okay.
Right. So live screen printing, engagement, team building activities, going into CMS and teaching
Yeah.
the students
It's
the
huge.
process of how to go from hand sketches or digital art onto the transparency, into the dark room, and onto the screens. So we go to the schools and teach this process with our mobile presses and give the students an opportunity to actually take their designs from concept to creation.
Oh, I would love that if you ever need any help with
Yeah.
that.
100%. I do.
I love,
Yeah.
I love teaching children.
Bring in
too.
your homies.
And
Yeah,
It's fun.
for sure.
It's so much fun.
think like we push people towards traditional careers so much, and I would love to like show people that trades can be successful too.
100%. Yes.
So
Yes.
I think that
No, this is just, I'm throwing ideas out there now. But but like you could go into
Did he
other
have a
shops.
margarita?
No, you could go into other shops with that same intention, like consulting, and just be like, hey, if you want to throw a live screening event at your place, I'm the man, right? You know what I'm saying? So like you would end up being the MC of a live screening.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
I dig it.
So you could take
think
that next
this
level.
would work as well, just based on the number of questions I get on a daily basis from other screen printers about live screen printing, and I've just dabbled in it.
Yeah.
And I like it, but I'm not as passionate about it as you are. So like I think it could be another path.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, absolutely. So we offer our services to other, other screen printers, but we're on the side of like, hey, these guys maybe they know what they're doing, maybe they have some questions, but like even in our open house, there was people that were like struggling with the right angle to print, right? And doing it the right way. So we're like, hey, we'll come in, we'll help you make decisions on maybe upgrading to a auto, we'll help you do this, this, and this. We'll show you how social media, social selling, that kind of stuff. But you are like, no, like live screen printing, in the education of that.
Yes.
Like if somebody's wanting to say, it'd be really cool if I did a live screen printing event or just even a screen printing 101 event at my shop to draw that attention.
Right.
So you
I don't know.
Idea. No, I'm rocking with you, Jeremy. I'm rocking with you, man.
Why don't we go into it just a little bit since we have some time?
Yeah.
Like if someone wants to, if they own a shop and they want to get into live screen printing, like what are the core essential equipment things that you think they should have?
You need a way to cure your garments, right?
D100.
Yes, the D100. There you go.
D100 or
Shout out
D100.
D100. Yes.
Anybody want to
Fast
send me
text.
one? I'll take another one. It's the best dryer ever.
The best dryer ever.
And I sold mine.
Yeah, you need to get that back because I used to have two and I sold them both and then I bought another one.
I know that's
regretted it every day.
Well, you need that bad boy. Like that's been the game changer because before that we were handheld heat guns.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And that game right
Miserable.
there, miserable. Like so you got to keep it to posters if you're doing handheld heat gun, right? And it's still cool because it's still DIY type of feel, but that D100 is everything.
And I will tell people, like, keep your eye out on Craigslist. Someone going out of business will always have a D100%,
There you go.
and you can pick it up real cheap.
Yes, real cheap. They are great and sturdy. Like we've had that thing in all kind of vehicles, in
And
all
it
kind of
fits in
places.
the back of a Honda.
Yeah,
Like,
there you go.
I could throw it in mine all the time.
It fits in the front seat of a 2-door Solara. I've seen it happen.
They should put these selling points on the D100.
Yeah. We're going to end up on AI on how to start a live screen printing.
Okay, what else?
Of our
What else
conversations.
besides the D100?
You need a good press.
Yeah, okay.
What do you recommend?
I recommend. I recommend the Vastex press.
Okay.
The Vastex single head, one color. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Press because it's easy to clamp onto anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that little rotary model that they have. They have the multiple color ones, but you can just do a single station.
Yeah, you can do a single. The base of it is what's the most important thing. Like you can really clamp it onto anything, screw it on to different things, and you don't really have to worry about the configuration of the bottom and what you're doing. And
Basic entry level press too. I mean,
So that's interesting because like I have a mobile unit that I carry everywhere with me, but it does get heavy at times. So you're saying like just take that bottom part off and have the thing that can clamp onto anything.
No. I'm not sure the model of this Vastex single head and one station press, but it's not heavy at all.
Okay, that's perfect.
So the V1000,
there's no head that comes off.
The V1000 is the actual like the base model, but that's not even their tabletop. They have a tabletop version.
Right, they do. Right.
That you can add a stand to, which is basically honestly, you would add a cart to it like a
yes, and that would allow you to do multicolors.
Yeah.
Right. Or multi designs.
Yeah.
Right,
I built a cart for mine.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That cart is key.
Yeah.
And I think Riley Hopkins actually just updated their base model too to have a cart and kind of do it that way. So so there's some options out there.
And
for
then Plastisol or water base for live screen
If you're
printing?
live, Plastisol.
Yes.
Why do you say
100%? Because depending upon who's pressing, water-based is going to dry on your screen, right? Over time, unless you're adding the proper warp drives and you're constantly moving, right? If there's any dead time, God forbid, you have a conversation with a customer, right? Or you decide, you know what? Let me teach you how to do this, right? While you're teaching them how to do it, the screen is drying on the inside.
Yeah.
They try to go and pull it, and it comes out spotty.
You're making me cringe.
Share me
Do you have experience with water-based, Christy?
Just some.
I mean,
did
just
it
the
once
speedball.
and I threw it away. Just threw it away.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Not
going to
doing
take
it.
a class on it because like I just got to the point where it was. You're exactly right. Like the minute you stop and have a
I hate it.
conversation,
Boom.
it's over.
I am too squirrel-like to print water-based ink.
Listen,
Don't throw
I mean,
that out there if y'all haven't noticed.
but yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the easiest thing to screen print with as far as like, I mean, and if you're on the road, so like, okay, you got a press, you got a dryer, but what about a flash? You gonna take a flash with you or no?
No,
I
I'm not
don't-
gonna take a flash.
So you're just gonna do
either.
one
No,
color.
I'm just gonna do one color.
One color.
I suggest you do one color, unless you're doing wet on wet, right?
Yep.
On location, one color is easiest.
One color.
right? It's the
Yep.
easiest. And you might think, I'm dumbing down my art. The people
No.
will still love it
They will
because
love it.
they're engaged into the
Right.
the actual process of it.
Yep.
More than just what the design is.
And I tell people that all the time. Like, don't overthink this. It's about how you sell it and how you engage because it's an experience. It's not about what's being printed on the shirt. They'll go to your website. They'll see you can create great art.
Right.
It's not about that.
It's not about that. It's
Yeah.
about that engagement experience. And for that person, if you allow them to screen print it themselves, for them to say, you know what, the shirt I have on right now, I made this.
I made that. Yeah.
And you have
We all
no
we
idea
all
how
have
powerful
that
that is.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
And so, what about shirts?
Shirts, we push a lot of the Bella canvas.
Right. So,
tees
is that
to a
what
lot
you're
of our
taking
customers.
to the very first screen printing live?
No,
screen printing show?
heck no. I'm taking what I have in my repertoire, what I have in
What's
my shop.
left over.
What's left over.
Hold up.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
So this way you get rid of this back stock, right?
Yes.
I
yes.
had never thought
Extra.
about that.
Misorders, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it may
So
be.
what I do is if I'm doing it for a company and I'm doing like an employee engagement event or something, I make the company pay for the stock of shirts that we're doing. But I had never thought of taking all these
yeah.
shirts
Yes.
that we don't use
That
for
you don't even use
anything.
for anything.
Heck yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you could take it even a step further and get the community truly involved and do what we like to call a BYOT.
I've seen that on your website.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that?
Bring your own textile. We've evolved it past the
T-shirt.
Yes.
It's textile.
Bring your own textile. So we
That's-
have people bring,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
leather jackets to denim to silk, all kind of different things.
You were
And
a
it-
brave soul for a leather jacket,
Listen,
brother.
brave soul, and it worked.
Yeah?
Like,
Really?
I tell them I accept the challenge, right?
Okay.
I
Wow.
accept the challenge because that helps me push myself as an artist and a screen printer, right? To see
Right.
how far I can push it. But at the same time, I let them know, listen,
I'm gonna burn
this
your
could work,
jacket.
or this could work or could not work, right? It could work.
Listen, brother. I'm burning your jacket.
I have no liability. What happened to you? You brought it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Okay,
Listen.
so did they sign a waiver?
I was
No,
gonna
no
say,
waivers, no waivers, no waivers. No
Okay.
waivers.
You're just a
All right.
handshake
They trust me.
deal.
Trust.
But we have 100% successfully printed on everything people have.
No, so if you mess it up, you go, it's art, man.
Listen. You know what we say? And I said it earlier. Beautiful mistakes.
Beautiful.
We only
mistakes.
make beautiful mistakes in
There you
MacFly
go.
Fresh.
And that's a really good point. Like, it's how you sell it to the customer. You
my
created
gosh.
this.
There you
It's-
go. You did
You-
this.
you did this.
And you know what?
It's
You know what's so
great.
dope about it? It's a one of one.
Yes. Unique.
All right.
Custom.
It's
All
a one of
right,
one.
so we got on this live screen printing, and then what I was going to touch on your website.
Are we done with live screen printing? What people should bring?
Are we done?
Well,
Well, I tell you this: if you're doing Plastisol, make sure you have the proper, ink degraded and clean screen cleaner.
Okay.
Right? Do not switch colors at your event.
thank you.
You start
Yeah.
out with black, you stay with black.
Okay.
But one thing we do
You can have another screen.
right, you have another screen. You got to have another screen if you're going to change colors. But what we do is allow the first customer, that comes up, we give them the opportunity to choose a color for that goes in that screen. But we tell them
Oh, wow.
that whatever color you choose, this is going to be the color for the rest of the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is if you give too many options,
Yeah.
right, you're just going to drive yourself nuts.
100%.
Yeah. So the other thing that I will say is have a backup screen in case your screen pops or something.
Yep.
Yes.
That's really important.
That's very, very
Always
important.
have two burn the same way.
Yes.
Even if you're doing just one print for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then What I like to do is I have a checklist that I go through, but then I take everything, like if it's the first time going in a while, I take everything outside my shop that's on my checklist, and then I try to print a shirt right outside my door and see if I can do it.
Yeah.
Got you. Interesting.
Or did I forget my wipes? Or did I forget my spatula?
Yeah.
Or did I forget my ink cards? Or, you know, like...
Ink cards, huge.
You don't know what you're going to forget until you do a practice run, and you don't want to be 50 miles from your shop.
Exactly.
What's the goal of a live screen printing? Is it to, again, we're going with the education side of things? Are we making money off of it? Are we trying to just give away our shirts? Are we trying to... Are you charging? Are you not charging? Are you...
All of the above, right? So we have different situations for different ones. So the BYOTs that we do at MacFly at our shop, we allow the community to bring T-shirts and print for free.
Okay.
Right? But if you come to the BYOT and you don't have a shirt, we have a rack of shirts that you can pay for, right?
Okay.
Or hoodies, long sleeve, whatever, right? The real goal is getting the community engaged into art. That's the real goal, right? The education is how that happens, right? We want to make sure that they're educated and they understand what they're doing to hopefully unlock the artist in them. Because you'll get people who are lawyers or this and that. I'm not an artist. I'm not a But I guarantee when you were 6 months, 1 year old, 2 years old, I gave you a crayon, you're making a masterpiece, right? Exactly, right? That's what you do.
Yeah,
We all have that art in us, right? So the art of screen printing, what we do, we try to bring that artist out in them. You know, so that's the major key right there, is to spread art, get people involved in art, whichever way. And we hope that sparks them to go do more.
Yeah.
Not necessarily go and become a screen printer, but just get involved in ink. Make sure ink is splattering all over your house every weekend at least. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes,
you
it's very,
can
very
find it
important.
in my car right now.
Yeah. On your seat. From your pants.
Oh my gosh. That red ink, boy, forget about
Jeremy,
it.
have you ever done a live screen printing event?
I've not. Well, here, just at the shop, and that was really to show off a piece of equipment.
Gotcha.
And what was interesting is like you know, so you go and find out, like, so for me it was I had screen printers here. But you quickly realize that these screen printers like are at all different levels, and like the one girl was struggling and she's like, I've never been able to clear the screen with ink. Like I have so much trouble, my prints look terrible. And the husband's like, yeah, prints look terrible, we should be doing something else, you know. And I'm like, well, show me what you're doing. And she says, oh, and she does it. And she's like, see? And I go, all right, just do me a favor and hold your squeegee up at this angle here and just press a little harder. And is your off contact, let's look at the off contact. See how that's right there? And she's like, yep. And I go, do it again. And she does it again. And she's like, I've never been able to do that. And I go, you just did.
You just did, yeah.
Just did.
You just did.
Just needed someone to show you.
You just needed some, like, right? And so that feeling like, oh my gosh, like she's accomplished something. So that's I 100% the educational side of things,
That's
right?
it. Yeah.
It's that exuberation that I accomplished something.
I did this, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
So for me with live screen printing, I really enjoy it as well because I love chatting with people. But for my corporate clients, I add it as a value add to them. Like, hey, you guys are having an employee appreciation day. Let me come out. You pay for the shirts, I'll print them for your employees right there. And it'll be an experience for your employees.
Right.
So that's another way to kind of
Very true.
add to your screen printing shop. And
Well, you said employees, and that's what I wanted to grab from his website. You have a team building section.
Yes.
So
What's
you're
that about?
intentional about that.
Very intentional. We want corporations to bring and businesses to bring their employees to the space and experience the art of screen printing in a team building session, right? So what we do is they normally we have food and drinks in the beginning. Everybody gets the chance to network and talk and kind of get loose.
Yep.
Because a lot of times there's different departments that
like
never...
a drink and ink.
There you go, drink and
ink.
Those guys are amazing. I love that concept. Love that concept. Really inspired me. So they come, they have food and drinks.
Me being old, I have no idea what you're talking about. You guys are like, yeah,
He's a little
those
older
guys
than we
inspire
are.
me. And I'm like, that's a thing?
It's Jeremy's every day.
That's a thing?
Listen, I got a drink and ink forward from Paris.
Yes.
That was like,
how
hey,
many times
they
did you
said,
get that
Ndelo, you
Instagram?
need to see this.
How many times?
So many times.
This will be my last show. I have no clue what I'm doing.
Jeremy, I'll forward you. I cannot
Yes.
believe no one. It's because someone else manages your Instagram. They probably got it.
They
You
got
did
it. They had to get
Yeah.
it. They had to get it.
Golly, I'm so stupid. All right, continue.
But
Continue. I'll just drink.
we break them up in different teams, right, to make sure that they all can interact. And in our shop, we have the ability to be able to have about 22 different designs, I think it is, with all the different presses and single head presses and everything. So we break them up in teams, and then they start to screen print their shirts, right? But then I make it like a very, it's like going to Carowinds or something. I make it feel like that. Hey guys, listen, welcome to MacFly Fresh. Today, this is what we're going to do. You got to make it theatrical.
Yeah.
You got to make it fun, right? You make it fun for them, right? But then at the same time, after they finish printing their shirts, front and back, and getting all creative with it, we also take them to the heat press, so they can heat press that MacFly Fresh tag in the back of their shirt right there, right? So that's that
good.
last little step.
Yep.
So now when they leave, it's a dope shirt. I did it at MacFly. Who made that shirt?
Right there, MacFly.
I
Boom.
did at MacFly.
Exactly. Right.
And for those transfers, do you make those transfers or do you outsource
No,
those?
we outsource those.
Super
we outsource
close?
those. Stalls.
Stalls. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Stalls.
So Plastisol Inc. transfers.
Shout out Stalls.
Plastisol
Absolutely.
transfers. Yes.
Okay.
And then date nights. So then you do the
Yes.
same thing for couples.
For couples, yes. Couples can come
Has
in.
anybody ever fought in your shop?
No, not yet.
You're doing it all wrong.
It's nothing but love. Nothing but love.
I hear you.
But yeah, that's a fully customizable offering right there, to where we can have food in the space.
You got
drinks
some
and
great
wine.
food at Camp
Yes, we
Norton
do.
too to
Yes.
pull from.
And we work
And
with a lot
that's that. You know what? Honestly, you got the dream shop. Like you're like right next to breweries and stuff.
Yeah, he's drooling.
Like I'm telling you, man, like
Golly.
how we got there is even the story within itself. Man.
No,
But yes,
but-
it's beautiful to be right there and to deal with all that camp fam. That's what we call it, camp fam. So everybody really is connected, and everybody works with each other. We support each other. We collaborate. We do all different kind of things
I love
together.
it.
So you got food, you got drinks, you got date night, you got music.
Music, 100%.
Okay.
Music, 100%. I mean, you have a garçon that actually is attending you the whole entire time, right? Like
That's fancy.
It's very a garçon. He's like, mademoiselle.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we don't have that at my shop.
Because I had to step it up a notch. So we have the dimmable lights. Like it's very intimate. It's very sexy. Very romantic. Yes,
love it.
very romantic. Yes.
Okay, so these are some great ideas. We don't do any of this. At
We
my
don't
shop.
do any of this. It's
Your shop is very pristine.
it's ready for it.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's ready for
Yes,
it.
it is.
And Ndelo's gonna come down and hook us up
I would definitely do that.
Yeah.
100%.
for
Yes.
sure.
Okay, so what's your team look like? How many employees do you have?
5 employees.
Wow.
Yes, 5 employees. A gang of interns.
Okay.
Yes. And
Tell me about that. Tell
Yes.
me about
Little volunteers.
Interns, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So with interns, we've connected with Small World, one of my engineering buddies.
Okay.
He ended up leaving engineering and followed his passion and started a high school internship program called MEC-Ed.
Can I have one of them?
Yes, you need them.
I actually
we need
am
them.
hiring right
But
now.
the beautiful thing about his program, though, is he has all of these qualified and amazing interns from multiple high schools, but they pay them.
yeah.
So the internship place does.
Internship pays them.
Yes.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So they come to
That's
your shop,
brilliant.
getting paid from them,
Yeah.
getting all the skills that they need, but also helping you out. Yes.
Right. And what's the goal for that? Is that to them to learn to be entrepreneurs, or to basically be screen printers, or
Life skills.
Life skills. Gotcha.
Life skills, period. Like I tell them all, like if you can follow this process through the art of screen printing, you can utilize this for anything you want to do in life.
Yep.
Period.
I would
Yes.
agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you letting them print shirts? What are you letting them do? Stack and fold, and
Do you let them talk to
Like,
your
I
customers?
let them do.
don't let them talk to your customers, dude.
I let them interact with the clients at the live screen printings.
Okay. Yeah.
They definitely help out with the live screen printing.
Okay.
They don't touch any production jobs in the
Yeah,
shop,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
But screens, organization, all that kind and I do let them to a certain degree talk to customers, right?
Okay.
Because some of them, one of the skills that I want to get them to kind of overcome is their shyness.
Yeah.
They're in high school.
It's
they're
amazing.
yes.
I have 2 high schoolers now, and they are so shy.
So shy.
Yeah.
With this new age and this technology and all that kind of stuff, talking to people you don't know.
Yeah. It's
that's-
amazing.
It's hard for them.
Because they got AI and stuff that you guys are
Correct.
into that I'm not
That
into,
you're not into,
like
right.
right, the
Yeah, they don't
texting
even
and all
have
that.
to talk to real people.
The snap face and the Insta chats and all that.
Snap face.
No, I was kidding. No, but they don't, like literally. It's like, how do you answer the phone?
Yeah.
That's where you got to start with
Yes.
some of these.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But listen, phenomenal concept. Great opportunity for pretty much everybody out in the screen printing world.
yes.
So this is interesting too. Like your, do you have to create SOPs and stuff? Do you have SOPs?
Yes, we do. And after, that's the thing. I ran my business for umpteen years. Didn't think about an SOP, right? I knew my process of screen printing, but it wasn't until I took that Amped Up course that they was like, "Hey, brother, where are your SOPs?" And I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
Right.
We Google things all the time. Jeremy was just talking. What was that?
EEs. What's your EEs look like? And I'm like, like what?
KPIs.
Yeah, the KPIs.
What
yeah.
is this?
Yeah. Like EEs, Google EEs.
And I don't know what EEs are either.
Yeah, it's equal employment opportunities or something, like EEOs or something.
See?
So what is,
So we're
basically, how are you
All
hiring?
learning.
all
You got to know
together.
this lingo,
Yeah.
this business lingo.
Yeah.
So during the break, we were just talking about like how our shops are expanding and growing. And one of the things that I touched on is my shop in particular. I'm trying not to say no as much. I'm trying to say yes and work with my other screen printing partners to get the job done effectively for my clients and keep my clients in-house.
Yep.
So I don't have to find new ones.
Right.
But also give them what they need, even if I can't do it in-house. So like, Jeremy, how are you doing that?
Customer service, I mean, is a big one, right? You have to be right on it from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like, and the interesting thing for me is like to keep a client in house and to, all right. So we talked about it earlier. It's, you have to qualify, you have to go through things, you have to go the extra mile. You might have to ask a few more questions. You might have to be like, hey, what's your budget? Hey, what's your goal in all this? What can we do? Let's work together as a partnership. You've been here multiple times. We're willing to work with you. Let's figure this out together.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Figure it out together. But then like that person making it personal, automatically, they're like, yeah, they're willing to do anything for me. I'm definitely coming back to you. I had a guy today come in from like nowhere. And he's like, man, that's been so long, but I remember you guys were so willing to work with me before. And I know it's been 3 years, COVID, blah, 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 and everything else. But like, now I need you.
Yeah.
And
one thing for me is like, I'm not the best at artwork. So one thing that I've added is Graphic Source.
Right.
To do my artwork. They're great. So I've stepped it up in that area, like acknowledged what I'm not good at and given my clients another option to have something better.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
What are you doing? Anything?
Like we want to focus on our core competencies, right?
Right.
And just kind of just drive that to the highest level. So like some of our embroidery, like that's going out. We've even talked to some of our clients to talk them into embroidered patches.
Yeah.
Right? And then not only, so let's say they were doing a hoodie embroidered, right? And they had 25 hoodies, let's say, right? I would talk to them about, listen, guys, this embroidered patch not only could go on your hoodie, but if you wanted to, it could go right here.
Yeah. Right.
It could go on your jogger.
Yeah.
Right?
it's good business
It's good
to
business.
upsell people.
To upsell and educate them on what.
Right.
See, people sometimes.
Education's huge.
There you go. People feel like if you give too much information, it's going to hurt you, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen the opposite.
Yeah.
I've seen a 700-fold, on information. People coming back to me say, "You were so willing to give us information. Yes, we did try to go do it on our own, whatever. But because you gave it to us, we came back to you."
Yeah, I love the way you said it. Focus on your core competencies, right? Like that's it.
That's
like
it.
I mean, we can say that's what we're good at, right?
Yeah.
You say what you're not good at, and
Yeah.
I know what I'm not good at. But like, focus on what you're good at, and then if you have to outsource everything else, that's great. But at least you're not saying no.
At least
And
you're
that
not
was the
saying
goal, right?
Absolutely.
Keep them coming back.
Yep.
I love that upsell point though, because we have not focused on upselling
No.
customers at all on
No.
6 episodes so far.
No, I mean I feel like AS Color is an upsell, but yeah.
Right.
We haven't,
Right.
and I think we should go into that at some point because it's good customer service to upsell
Yeah.
and acknowledge what the customer might not be thinking of, because it's your job as the short professional to tell your customers what they may need.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Be on top of the trends. Know what's going on. Right. Give them the best quality option. that's profitable for you as well.
Yep. And so do you do your own Instagram, or do your interns do it for you?
Right now, I am 75-25.
Okay.
So, but 75 on my side.
Okay.
Exactly right. We worked with some Instagram specialists.
Oh, really?
For a while.
How'd that go?
It was great. Like, she was amazing, right? But then you have to manage that. Right? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it fell off
Okay.
on my side.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't manage that. Or I didn't have a protocol of, okay, you're not at this live event, but we are. So do we upload the photos and then you tag them? Do we send them to you? Do we put them in Dropbox?
Yeah.
How is this content that we're making right now still going
No,
to be
they need to
relevant
be
by the time we get
involved.
to it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they need
You
to be-
lose the vibe of and the excitement
Yep.
of it being that
Exactly.
day.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
then now I'm doing it because I'm in the moment of it. So then
Right.
why am I paying you to do it?
But listen, but at the same time, like, you get to a point where, like, you're like, man, I should have took a video of that. Like, I should have did this. I should have did that. Right. And if you have somebody that's intentional, right, you just gotta set the ground rules straight
have
up.
to. You
like,
have to.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
just to be like, hey, I need you. If I'm gonna hire you, I need you here.
Right. I need you here. I need you live on location.
Yeah.
So you guys actually have a big Instagram following. How have you managed that, cultivated it, grown it? Any tips you can give to other screen printers?
Like, now we're very intentional on having you follow us.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
And do
literally,
you ask for it?
we ask for it straight
Yeah.
up.
Love
We
it.
ask for it. If you're communicating with us and you're digging our vibe, follow us on Instagram. As a matter of fact, I made it easy for you. Hit that QR code right there.
Okay.
Boom. There you go. It's on a business card. It's it's everywhere, right? So this way, it's easy access for them to just take a picture and tap follow, right?
Yep.
And it's grown tremendously. Our live events, when we interact with all those hundreds or thousands of people in whatever event we're doing, that is a key source right there. Like, you get 400 or 500 people in one day, right? Because you're doing a live event and
Yep.
the people are following because they love and they're digging what you're doing, right? But we are definitely intentional on asking them to do it. There are some people, like maybe us, that we might instantly, we know we have to follow.
Yeah.
But then he might not, you know what I'm saying? They want to follow, right?
What does that
Exactly.
mean?
So you
No,
have to ask him, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So just
No,
ask
seriously.
everybody, right?
Yeah,
And you'll get it.
it had never occurred to me because I love social selling. I love Instagram. It's like one of my platforms is you guys need to be on this because I've
Right.
never paid for advertising.
Right.
But when I went to ISS with the Gildan Board of Decorators, my girl Jessica, she's with ColourPop Studio out of Dallas, Texas, and she had this thing on the back of her phone, and any person she interacted with at ISS, she goes, follow
Boom.
me, follow me, follow me. And she was just like, and I noticed her doing it, but I didn't think two things about it. But my friend Mitch, who owns a really big shop, and he's the chairman of the board, he was like, I've never thought of doing that. I've never thought of asking people to follow me.
Yeah.
And I go, that's interesting. I don't do it all the time. I'm pretty good about it, but I don't do it all the time. Why aren't we doing it all the time?
Yeah. If you're following this podcast, follow MacFly.
Yes.
For sure.
At MacFly Fresh.
At MacFly Fest. We're going to go over that all, but I'm just like, follow us.
You can
Yes,
follow
follow us,
Snatch and
please.
Run as well.
Follow Snatch and Run. Follow Rock Hill
Might as
Screen
well.
Printing. Yeah, absolutely.
Follow me.
So, all right. So, PR. So, you've got, first of all, dude, your website, like, if you don't spend much time on that thing, it's Mac Daddy website. Like, it is legit.
Did you make it?
So that's the thing. My partner and I, John Dawkins, from the electrical engineering world, we were doing websites for the past 20 years.
Oh my God, that thing
Right.
is rocking, dude.
Right. I love that
There's
site.
so
man.
much
Yes,
into it.
yes.
Like you, I mean, like I've never been to a site where it's like, you want to see the press on us, go to press. And there's actual press. And I'm like, dude, that is so legit.
And I will say for that, I just got my website
Thank you.
redone by a professional in January. I had the same one for 8 years, got it redone. The number of hits and inquiries now that I have it redone and branded for me, pink, female-owned, operated shop, and it speaks what I want to speak is unreal.
Unreal.
Like if you
Yeah.
guys have not spent any money on your website, do it. Spend the time, do it.
So, all right. So, how have you putting yourself out there other than Instagram? Like, so obviously you're putting yourself out there.
Yes. So
Public relations.
public relations. So we are constantly festivals, because we do live screen printing, it's different for us because we're out in the community physically, right? We're at the art shows, we're at most of the art festivals that go on in Charlotte, right? And then, you know, being that we are in Camp North End, that's got its own
Live
brand, right? Exactly. So people are coming there just for Camp North
It's a
End as well.
destination.
Yes, and they fall right into our space.
I love that.
No, it's a
3 doors down, we have the number 2 best restaurant in the nation, right? Exactly.
Is
right?
that so? Is that what is that?
Lee and
Louise.
Louise. Lee and
Okay.
Louise. Like
Okay.
right there.
What's your favorite thing to eat there?
Oh my gosh, they're chicken skins.
Okay, I gotta go
chicken
there.
skins
I
are
haven't been there yet,
amazing.
and it's on
Shout
my
out Chef
list.
Rick.
Leo Louise.
Leah
We should
and
go up
Louise.
there
Leah
together,
Louise.
and then we'll check out his shop.
We're gonna
Yes. And you get screen print and poster when you come by.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I love
yes.
that. I would really like to go, and I love to eat good food.
Yes.
All
Have
right.
you been to
So
Halberdish
can we
yet?
Make a
come-
reservation, please.
We should come to your shop and do a show.
Yes, there you go. And then we can have some beers at free range.
Love it.
Yes,
Love
exactly.
it. Look, you guys.
Can't fan.
We're gonna be up there. Like, well, how far? Where's it located?
So between Statesville and Graham Street, maybe 3 minutes from
It's
downtown
not
Charlotte.
far at all, Jeremy.
Okay, so because we may be relocating our podcast to up in Huntersville.
Blue
right?
Ridge Screen
Oh.
Products. Do
Okay.
you know Blue Ridge Screen Products? They're in there.
No, I don't.
Oh, he's gonna have to come by your
Yeah,
shop.
you're gonna
Got
have to
to.
go. He's the man.
In Huntersville. Okay, interesting.
So that's where we might be anyway. So, anyways,
He's making a
I mean that's probably not that
screen
close, but
printers, lounge for education and everything.
Yeah.
I
to
need
hang
to
out.
meet this guy.
yeah, he's
great.
cool, dude.
We need to collaborate.
Yeah,
There you
for
go.
sure.
Wherever you at, let's connect.
So, this has been a great episode.
This is great.
I feel like we could talk to you for like 10 hours.
I
Listen,
know
I
that's the
love
crazy
this,
thing.
man.
That's
I feel
over
like
an
I'm
hour.
home.
Yeah.
It's over an hour. I
These
don't.
are my
I mean, like,
homies now.
I've asked all the
Sure,
things
let's
that we
get
want
him
to
on
ask.
bed.
All right, so give me your where are you going from here? What's the future look like for MacFly, Fresh Print Co?
We really want to be we want a bigger space.
Okay.
To where we can be a vertically integrated screen printing education studio. So we have a program called FACTS, which stands for Fashion, Art, Culture, Technology, and Screen Printing, right? And it is for youth ages 15 to 25, right? To be able to come through this process and learn the art of screen printing, the business side, the collaboration side. So in the program, you'll be meeting with seamstresses, PR people, models, other
wow.
brand designers and things of that nature to really get a full scope of what you could do with this program in this, right? So I want a space to where the youth can come and be part of this program, but then also from there graduate to screen printers. And I know you might just be there for retention and everything, right? You might be on the way to grad school, on the way whatever, but I can get some of the best artists in my space and constantly have creative people working in our shop, right?
I think that's awesome
For the
you guys.
longevity,
Yeah.
right, of things, right? And then this way I can always come in there and teach, because as we get older, right? Exactly, right? You can't be on the press, so you don't want to be on the press
you don't
as
want
much,
your
right?
elbows.
Your elbows, your knees. Look at my finger. My finger wouldn't even go straight anymore, right? So I'm seeing, the time stamp on my physical body with screen printing,
Yeah.
but my mind will always be there, right? So education is where I'm trying to move to. And another location. I really want to have 2 more locations within the next 5 years.
So we're franchising.
somewhere. We're franchising out. You know what I'm
Jeremy,
saying?
this is something you're passionate
Yeah,
about.
I'm
as well.
passionate about. You got to create a franchise model first.
There you go.
You got to create a franchise model first, and then
First.
franchise.
Y'all
There
need
you
to
go.
talk about this.
We have.
Yes, we do.
Jeremy
And you
really
inspired me on
wants
some
to.
of the podcasts I saw previously, so I appreciate that. Yes.
Man. All right. So, last thing, because we got to wrap this up. My beer got warm. Your beer got warm. No, but and this has been a minute. But what's your last? You had any last parting words?
Well-
I want to go into the passion and purpose thing.
Well,
but-
that's what I was going to say too. So
Okay.
you go ahead.
All right. So one of the things that we push here is like we feel like we love what we do. We have
Most
a
days,
passion.
most-
We have a passion for it. Like, or we
Yes.
wouldn't be doing it anymore, right?
Correct.
And we have a purpose in doing it. And so Christy's purpose is different than my purpose.
Correct.
Right? But we still have that purpose that we're striving for, right? So MacFly Print Fresh Co. What's your passion and purpose? That's a tough one, man.
$1,000,000
but
question.
$1,000,000 question. Passion and purpose, man.
What is your passion and purpose?
What do you feel like?
my passion is, I guess, really to get individuals who've gotten away from the arts to come back to the arts, because that's my story.
Okay.
You know? And to really feel comfortable in expressing and creating, yourself. Yourself and with others. Collaborations are everything for me. Collaborations are the future, I say. So
They are.
So,
Yeah.
and the good thing about collaborating and connecting with other artists and other screen printers and other businesses is that whenever you get down, because that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to go through your creative,
Yeah.
troughs, you know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
you might not be feeling it for some time. I went through it for 2 years, I felt
Yeah,
like.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? And if it wasn't for the other artists that I was collaborating with and working with and around, people like you guys,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been I probably would still be there, because that leads to depression, all those kind of things, right? So I feel like my passion is connecting with people to create things from concept to creation.
All right.
I love
my
it.
passion.
Yeah. Relationships.
That builds everything.
It builds everything.
And being able to now to extend it a little bit, but then also to connect it to other undervalued people around the world, right?
Yep.
If we have this skill and this equipment to be able to create products, right?
Right.
There are people who have ideas who just don't have this access.
Correct.
So to kind of talk about one of the points we didn't really get to is connecting the ideas to the access, the knowledge and access to the thing to allow things to flourish and manifest, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we allow people to come to our shop. After you take a class, we give you access to our equipment.
Okay.
Because you
Yeah.
might not be able to go out and buy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A press
Come
right
in and
there.
rent it.
Right.
Right.
Come in and rent it. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's rock and roll. Let's
Yeah.
go. And then now you get acclimated with this piece of equipment. Now you go out and buy this equipment.
Yeah. Mm.
But then we're also always going to be there
Support you.
as a knowledge base
Yep.
for you, right?
And we had talked about that earlier, not on the podcast, but like collaboration, not competition. Everybody's wearing T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, abundance lifestyle.
And then now, wouldn't it be dope if your brand was on a T-shirt and my brand was on a T-shirt and we sell it to all those people together?
Right,
Like, come
yeah.
on, now let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right.
Why not?
Rising tides raises all ships, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
And
I
then that
love it.
becomes a period piece that people are like, oh, sure, I remember when y'all did that one piece, and then, it becomes
Yeah.
a thing.
Mm-hmm.
No. That's it, man.
This has been
let's go.
amazing.
Let's
Thank
go.
you
Great.
so
Let's
much
go.
for being on the
I rock with
podcast.
y'all.
Like, you should come on again.
I will be here.
All right.
Everything
so
is better fresh.
quick
It sure is.
quick 30 seconds. Just go ahead and give us your how
Where-
we can get in touch with you, right?
Yes. So you can reach out to us at MacFlyFresh.com on as far as the website, but at MacFlyFresh on all social media. Stop by Camp North End, 301 Camp North End, Suite 106. We are located right there in between Graham and Statesville at Camp North End, the dopest spot in the world. Come check us out where everything is better fresh.
I love it.
This is great. She's got it all planned out.
Very good elevator
So,
pitch.
Christy, how can the viewers get a hold of us and kind of connect with us?
Please, you guys know where we're at, www.lastcallforplastisol.com or on Instagram at lastcallforplastisol. Please comment, subscribe, like our YouTube. Guys, we do this. I need you to do all these things so we can continue to get sponsors.
Yes.
Our wonderful sponsors.
Yes, and we'll hit those sponsors real quick, but yes, please like, click, subscribe, follow us.
Yeah.
Like we said in the podcast, follow us.
We're asking for it now.
We're asking for it every day now.
You got to.
Thanks so much, Ndelo, for joining us. And,
pleasure.
And cheers to everybody out there.
Until next time, cheers.
Let's go ahead and put those things up. There we go. Cheers.